Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And we have been talking about hot spots, and lo and behold, last night after his bath, I realized Tristan has a hot spot back here in his fuzz buns. And it's pretty much healed and doing pretty well, much to my happiness. However, it's interesting that I discovered this old hot spot today. He probably had it a week ago when we were at the beach. When we're going to be talking about chiropractic adjustments and other systemic treatments for hot spots, because being a Corgi, he has a very long back, and I've noticed lately in his gait that he is out right along here in his lumbar L5, L6, S1 area, and that's where the nerves go to where this hot spot is. So in fact, I need to adjust him. I'm not going to do it right now, but I will when we're done. And so it's really important, if your dog has hot spots, first of all, to keep note of where they occur. I've never had one of my Corgis get one here before, and it is a pretty furry spot on a Corgi, so it's not surprising that there's one there, because the reason he probably got it was from getting his baths last time we were here and not drying that spot thoroughly enough. I am paying so much attention to his armpits and his poof that I haven't been, and his fuzz buns, but I missed the spot on the top of his back. Now, my dog only weighs 19 pounds and he's pretty little, so I can imagine if somebody has a 80-pound golden retriever, how easy it is to miss a spot when you're drying them. And I really advocate blow drying them with it on cool after they've been soaking wet in the beach or after a dog wash up, but it really is important to keep them dry. And then also, no matter you have a regular chiropractic treatment scheduled or not, it would be a good idea if your dog has a couple of hot spots in the summer to make sure that the dog is adjusted mechanically in their spine to diminish any kind of dysfunction that's going on there that could be decreasing the nutrition and the cellular exchange in that area that could lead to the hot spots. As we talked about before, often hot spots are a symptom of a more systemic problem going on in your dog, a thyroid problem, a lymphatic problem, a liver problem, and certainly other more serious issues than those. And a lot of that can be addressed with diet and, as I said, acupuncture and chiropractic. And acupuncture is another thing that might be really useful if your dog has frequent hot spots. I know that my sister's done some treatments on my dogs when they've had some serious hot spot situations going on, and it's been tremendously beneficial, especially if you can get a couple of them. And again, that can be supplemented with Chinese herbs, which you have to get from a vet that does acupuncture. And Chinese herbs can really help balance the system that's out of balance. Hot spots come from excessive moist heat and inflammation in your dog, and so cooling Chinese herbs could be really helpful to resolve the issue. Tristan is a hot dog. He's a really hot dog, so I have to keep him on a diet of cold food, and I'm not, as a vegetarian, very good at making sure he gets enough duck. He eats a lot of turkey, which is sort of a neutral food, and he was getting, where was I lately? He was getting some chicken treats when I was here 2 weeks ago. And I think that and the moistness here led to this hot spot. That's how delicate his balance is right now, that just like 5 days of some chicken treats once a day and having some moisture in his system will amp up his heat and put him completely out of balance, because he is a pretty hot dog. So the other thing, as I mentioned yesterday, that you can do systemically besides a chiropractic adjustment and acupuncture treatment is to look at what you're feeding your dog. And you should definitely address diet if your dog has hot spots. And we talked about some of the things in my sister's book, Yin and Yang Nutrition for Dogs, Healing with Whole Foods. And so I'll just review that list of foods for summer damp heat again. Barley, millet, or wheat if you have grain in your dog's diet. That would not be the first thing I would give him. Pork, duck, and I have 2 duck breasts in the freezer at home. They will be going right into my dog when I get back. Rabbit, cold water fish, that would be sardines, and you can just buy a can of sardines and water from the supermarket, and a lot of vets recommend a sardine or 2 a week for about a 30-pound dog, more if your dog is bigger. Celery, asparagus, turnips, broccoli, cabbage, squash, cucumbers. Cucumbers are super cooling. Zucchini, mushrooms, apples, and a lot of dogs like apples, and pears as well. Pears are very cooling, and clams, which if you live near the sea here, in Provincetown, you usually have pretty good access to some clams and things like that. But it's pretty easy to just put some zucchini in your dog's food. What I do with him is cut up some zucchini, and I'll be doing this later today, in fact. Cut up some zucchini in little pretty small pieces because he's not a vegetable eater. Pour a little hot water on that and put the whole thing into his food after it cools, so that he's got the zucchini kind of broken down a little bit, because he's not a big eater of raw. But if your dog likes vegetables, like my neighbor dog here, Jasper, he loves vegetables. I could just give him a piece of zucchini. And he's a Lab Shepherd mix, so he's sort of orange like Tristan, but he has black like sable on his back. He's really pretty. So for a dog like him, I could just start giving him cucumbers and zucchini as treats and for his meals, and he would resolve any hot spots he had pretty readily. But because he has such a balanced diet, he's not a dog that gets hot spots. So that's my advice today on treating your hot spots systemically: food, acupuncture, Chinese herbs, and here's Lucy. She doesn't have a hot spot. And also using whole foods. This is my friend Sid, and she's got this wonderful dog, Lucy. Where's Lucy?
Lucy, come here.
Lucy!
You want to be on TV?
This is one of Tristan's other girlfriends. You have to pick her up because we can't see her. Put her right by Tristan. There's Lucy. She's a Sheltie with a haircut. Rose, I hope you see this so you can see that we have many Sheltie friends in the world. You too, Deb. So thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk to them another day about some stuff that's important that we can share with you about Lucy's haircut. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk to Lucy. So thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Sorry I cannot predict what time. I am on vacation, so we're doing these at whatever point I have time. And the tide's out early, so we've been on the beach all morning. We've had all kinds of adventures. I met a wiener dog that has cancer. That was a pretty sad conversation, but he's already extended his life double the prediction, so I think we might do a series about cancer sometime when I'm home. What do you think, Tristan? He's very hot. I'm thinking I should bring his dog's swimming pool on vacation. Everybody have a great day. Stay cool wherever you are, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Get it.